Have you ever found yourself doing something or maybe saying something and then just instantly thinking, wait, why did I do that?
Oh, all the time?
Yeah.
Or wondering, why do we fall in love? Or why do we sometimes lose our temper over, well, really small things?
Exactly. Or make those decisions you just know you'll regret later.
Get it?
These aren't just like idle thoughts, are they? They're sort of core to being human.
They really are.
So today we're going to take a real deep dive into this fascinating, sometimes really surprising world of human behavior.
Yeah, and the psychology behind it all.
What makes us pick?
Right. And when we talk about behavior, it's not just the obvious stuff, the actions you can see.
Okay.
It's everything underneath, too. Your thoughts, your feelings, even those habits you don't really think about. They just happen.
Right, the automatic stuff.
Exactly. And the key thing, I think, the really crucial part, is that none of this is random. It feels like it sometimes, but it's not.
So there's a reason for it all.
There is. Every single action, every thought, every feeling, it's shaped by this constant mix of things. Your biology, for one,
Okay.
your own unique psychology, the environment you're in, your life experiences, it all feeds in.
Right. And our mission for you listening today is pretty straightforward by the end of this, by sort of understanding these forces.
The underlying drivers.
Yeah, you'll hopefully gain this incredible insight, almost like a X-ray vision into why people do what they do.
Including yourself, which is often the most surprising part.
Absolutely. It's like finding the secret codes to, well, human nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Where do we start? Maybe at the most fundamental level, the biological one.
That's a great place to start.
Yeah,
Because honestly, a lot of the hidden drivers are right there.
yeah.
Yeah, it might actually surprise you how much your brain, your genes, your body chemistry, how much they're, well, kind of running the show. Often completely without you realizing it.
Running the show, I like that. So how does that work? Like chemicals in the brain?
It's amazing, really. Your brain is this incredibly sophisticated chemical factory. It's constantly making neurotransmitters.
Okay, I've heard of this.
Right. They're basically chemical messengers, and they directly impact how you feel and how you act. We hear a lot about dopamine, for instance.
The pleasure chemical, right?
Well, yes and no. It's often called that. But what's really fascinating, it's not always about the feeling of pleasure itself. Sometimes it's more about the anticipation.
Anticipation. How so?
Think about waiting for a text message back.
Yeah.
Or scrolling through social media. That little buzz you get.
Yeah.
That's often the dopamine system going, maybe something good is coming. It's hooked on the possibility of the reward.
Ah, so it's the chase almost.
Exactly. And sometimes that anticipation, that chase, is even more powerful than getting the actual reward. It's key to how habits form, especially those addictive ones.
Wow, okay. That makes sense. What about other chemicals?
Well, there's serotonin, which plays a big role in mood and well-being. And then you've got cortisol.
The stress hormone.
That's the one. When you're under pressure or feel threatened, cortisol levels rise. And if they stay high consistently,
That's not good, I assume.
it's not ideal, no. It doesn't just make you feel stressed. It can actually change your decision-making. You might become more cautious, more risk-averse, or sometimes, paradoxically, more impulsive.
So it's not just, I feel bad because I'm stressed. It's literally changing how your brain operates in that moment.
Precisely. Your brain is wired differently under stress, making you act in ways you might not normally. It's really powerful stuff.
That is powerful.
Now,
And okay, beyond chemicals swirling around, what about our genes? Do they dictate our personality?
they definitely play a big role. Maybe not dictate in a fixed way, but they contribute significantly.
Ow.
Well, research shows genetic links to certain broad behavioral tendencies. Things like how reactive someone is or how naturally cautious.
So some people are just born more jumpy, maybe.
Kind of, yeah. Or
Yeah.
more predisposed to things like anxiety or impulsivity. Even empathy seems to have a genetic component.
Mm-hmm.
It's not usually one single gene for one behavior, though. It's usually complex interactions between many genes that sort of lay down a foundational temperament.
Like a basic operating system you're born with.
That's a good way to think about it, yeah. An inherent predisposition.
Okay, that makes sense. And if we zoom out even further, what about evolution? Are we still carrying around baggage from, caveman times?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of our really deep-seated behaviors, even ones that seem irrational today, are basically survival instincts honed over millions of years.
Like what?
Well, think about common fears. Snakes, darkness, heights. Those fears were incredibly useful for keeping our ancestors alive in environments full of actual danger. They're hardwired.
Okay, that makes sense for snakes. But what about something like fear of public speaking?
Well, think about social rejection. The fear of being judged or rejected by the group. For our ancestors, being kicked out of the tribe could literally be a death sentence. You needed the group to survive. So that fear of social judgment isn't just about feeling embarrassed.
It's tapping into that ancient survival fear.
Exactly. These responses helped our species survive, and they're still firing away in our modern brains, even if the context is totally different.
So biologically, our reactions right now aren't just about right now.
Not at all. They're shaped by this incredibly long evolutionary history, by a brain and body designed for a world very different from ours in many ways, a history we're usually not even aware of.
Wow, okay. So biology's huge, but it can't be the whole story, right? Humans seem more complicated than just instincts and chemicals.
Absolutely not the whole story. Biology is foundational, hugely influential, but what really sets humans apart, what allows for all this complexity, is our thinking. Cognition.
Our minds.
Exactly. This is where cognitive psychology comes in. It's the study of how we perceive things, how we remember, how we interpret the world around us.
And I guess we assume our thinking is pretty logical.
We like to think so, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's often not. Our brains are efficiency machines. They love taking shortcuts. Mental shortcuts, yeah. Psychologists call them cognitive biases. They're designed to help us make decisions quickly in a really complex world, which is useful sometimes. But they can also seriously distort our perception of reality.
How so? Give me an example.
Okay, confirmation bias. This is a big one. It's our tendency to actively look for and pay attention to information that confirms what we already believe.
And ignore stuff that contradicts it.
Pretty much. Or we downplay it. So if you think a certain diet is amazing, you'll notice every little success story, every pound lost.
And conveniently forget the times you cheated or didn't see results.
Exactly. Your brain filters the world to match your beliefs. It's not just about politics. It's everywhere.
Okay, I can see that. Any others?
Oh, loads. How about the availability heuristic?
Sounds fancy.
It just means we tend to assume something is more common or more likely to be true if examples of it come to mind really easily.
Okay. So if you see a scary news report about a plane crash,
You might suddenly feel like flying is much more dangerous than it statistically is, just because that vivid image is so readily available in your memory, even though car travel is far riskier.
right, your brain grabs the easy to remember thing.
Exactly. It prioritizes vividness and ease of recall over cold, hard stats. These shortcuts shape our view of the world, our personal stories. Everything.
And this is where it gets really interesting, doesn't it? Because it means two people can witness the exact same thing.
And walk away with completely different understandings of what happened.
Yeah, and both are absolutely convinced they saw the truth.
Right. It's not necessarily that one is lying or mistaken. It's just their cognitive filters, their biases,
Yeah.
interpreted the information differently. It's just how our minds work to make sense of things quickly, for better or worse.
Okay, so our thoughts can twist things. But what often fuels those thoughts maybe pushes those biases even harder, I'm guessing.
Emotions.
Bingo.
Okay.
Emotions are incredibly powerful drivers, often unconscious.
They just sort of happen to us. They feel that way, yeah. They're like the brain's rapid response system.
Yeah.
Super fast, really potent, and they evolved for good reasons, mostly.
Like what? Protection.
Primarily, yes. Fear yells danger, which is pretty useful. Anger can signal that a boundary's been crossed, mobilizing you to defend it.
Okay.
And positive emotions like love or joy motivate connection, cooperation things, vital for us as social beings.
But there's a downside too, right?
Oh, yeah. The double-edged sword. That fear that keeps you safe. It can also paralyze you, stop you from taking a perfectly reasonable risk.
Or the anger.
Right. The anger that signals a boundary violation can explode, making you say something awful you immediately regret.
We've all been there.
Absolutely. We've all experienced that emotional hijacking, as psychologists sometimes call it.
Hijacking.
Yeah, where the emotion basically takes over your rational thought process for a moment.
Like snapping at someone when you're stressed.
Exactly. Or making an impulsive purchase because it feels good right now without thinking about the consequences. I nearly bought this ridiculously fancy coffee machine last week.
Yeah. Did you need it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I have a perfectly good one. But the smell, the barista making it look so amazing. It was that instant emotional yes. before my logical brain had a chance to chime in.
That's so relatable. It explains a lot.
It really does.
Yeah.
Your rational brain is often playing catch-up to your emotions.
Which is why people talk about emotional intelligence so much, I guess.
Precisely. It's not about not having emotions that's impossible and undesirable. It's about learning to recognize them, understand what they're telling you, and then manage them.
So you're driving the bus, not the emotion.
That's a great way to put it. Instead of being completely controlled by them, it's a crucial skill, honestly, for relationships, for work, for just growing as a person.
Makes sense. So we've got biology inside us, thoughts twisting things, emotions hijacking us. But we don't live in isolation, do we?
Not at all. If we connect this to the bigger picture, we have to talk about the social world.
Because we're social animals.
Deeply social. We're profoundly influenced by other people, by the groups we belong to, by the culture we're swimming in.
From day one, right.
Absolutely. From childhood onwards, parents, teachers, friends, the media we consume, they all shape us in ways we often don't even realize.
Are there, studies on this?
Oh, classic ones.
Yeah.
You might have heard of the Asch conformity experiment.
Remind me.
Basically, they put people in a group and asked them to judge the length of lines. The trick was everyone else in the group deliberately gave the wrong answer.
And what happened?
A surprising number of people just went along with the group's obviously wrong answer. They conformed, even when it meant denying what their own eyes were telling them.
Wow. Just to fit in.
Fear pressure, fear of standing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows how strong that pull to conform can be.
Any other big ones?
Well, the Milgram experiment is probably even more famous and maybe more unsettling.
That's the one with the electric shocks, right?
That's it. It showed how willing people could be to obey an authority figure, even when instructed to do things that seemed to cause great distress to another person, things that went against their own morals.
That's quite chilling.
It is. It reveals a powerful tendency to follow authority, sometimes quite blindly. Both Asch and Milgram highlight how situations and social pressures can override individual judgment.
So it's not just direct orders or obvious peer pressure, it's also subtler stuff.
Absolutely. Think about social norms.
Yeah.
The unwritten rules of how to behave.
Like queuing up or
Yeah.
personal space.
Exactly. Or how you dress for work, how you talk to certain people. Even things like political views can be heavily influenced by your social circles and cultural background. These forces guide our behavior constantly.
And I guess social media just throws fuel on that fire.
Oh, it amplifies it hugely. Constant comparison, chasing validation through likes, conforming to online trends. The pressure is immense, and it's shaping behavior in ways we're still trying to understand.
Okay, so we're shaped by biology, thoughts, emotions, and the people around us. But wait, if all that's true, why isn't everyone the same?
Good question.
If you put two people in the exact same stressful situation or expose them to the same social pressure, they might react completely differently. Why?
That brings us to personality. What makes you, you?
The individual spark.
Exactly. Despite all these shared influences, each person has a unique combination of traits, preferences, and tendencies.
Like being introverted or extroverted.
That's part of it. Psychologists often talk about the big 5 personality traits as a useful model.
Okay, what are those?
They are openness, how open you are to new experiences,
Mm.
conscientiousness, how organized and dependable you are, extroversion, how outgoing and sociable, agreeableness, how cooperative and trusting, and neuroticism, how prone you are to negative emotions like anxiety or sadness.
So everyone falls somewhere on those scales.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a widely accepted way to map the basic landscape of personality. It helps explain why one person loves novelty and risk, while another prefers routine and predictability.
So we have these traits, which sound relatively stable, like our wiring again.
They tend to be fairly stable over time, yes.
But people do change.
Right.
Our behavior isn't fixed. We learn.
Absolutely. Personality provides a foundation, but behavior is constantly being shaped and reshaped through learning. It's a dynamic process.
How does that learning happen?
Several ways. There's classical conditioning. Think Pavlov's dogs associating a bell with food.
Right.
In modern life, that might be feeling anxious when you hear a specific notification sound on your phone, because it's usually bad news.
Okay, linking things together.
Then there's operant conditioning. This is about consequences. Behavior followed by a reward tends to be repeated. Behavior followed by punishment tends to decrease.
Like training a pet or getting likes on social media.
Exactly like getting likes. That's operant conditioning, reinforcing your posting behavior. Apps use this all the time.
Sneaky. What else?
Observational learning. simply learning by watching others.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Basically, yes, kids imitating their parents is the classic example. But adults do it too. We mirror colleagues, pick up trends from influencers, even absorb ways of speaking or acting from our social feeds without realizing it.
So it's happening all the time.
Constantly. We're always learning, adapting, adjusting our behavior based on associations, consequences, and what we see around us.
So putting it together, we have these sort of core personality traits, but layered on top is all this learning and adaptation.
Precisely. Each person develops this unique behavioral profile, reflecting both their stable traits and their learning history. But crucially, it's not set in stone. It remains flexible, adaptable, capable of change.
That's actually quite empowering, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay, this raises another big question for me, though. We've talked about how behavior happens, but what about the why? What actually pushes us to act?
Motivation. The engine.
Yeah. What drives someone to climb Mount Everest, or start a company, or even just get out of bed on a Monday morning? Or sometimes, why do we struggle to do anything at all?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Motivation is complex. One famous model is Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
I've seen that pyramid thing.
That's the one. The idea is we have different levels of needs. At the bottom are basic survival needs: food, water, safety.
Gotta have those first.
Right. Then come psychological needs: belonging, love, esteem. And at the top, self-actualization, fulfilling your potential, finding purpose.
So you move up the pyramid?
Generally, yes. The idea is lower needs have to be reasonably met before higher needs become the main drivers. But it's not always a strict ladder. Sometimes, say, the need for belonging might make someone risk their safety to fit in with a group.
Ah, okay, so the levels can interact.
They definitely interact. Another key distinction is intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation.
What's the difference?
Intrinsic motivation is doing something because you genuinely enjoy the activity itself. Reading a book just for the pleasure of it, or playing music because you love it.
The reward is the activity.
Exactly. Extrinsic motivation is doing something for an external reward. Money, grades, praise, avoiding punishment.
Like working primarily for the paycheck.
That's a classic example. Now here's something interesting. Sometimes adding extrinsic rewards to something you used to do intrinsically can actually kill your enjoyment.
Really? How?
If you start getting paid for a hobby you loved, it can suddenly feel like work, like an obligation.
Guess so.
The external reward can undermine the internal joy. It doesn't always happen, but it's a known effect.
Huh. That's counterintuitive.
It can be.
So for you listening, figuring out what truly motivates you, is it the joy of the thing itself or the external payoff? That seems pretty key.
It's absolutely key, especially if you're trying to change a behavior or build a more meaningful life. Understanding your why, the intrinsic and extrinsic drivers, is crucial. It helps you align your actions with what genuinely matters to you, rather than just doing what you think you should do.
Right. Doing what lights you up, not just checking boxes.
That's the goal, isn't it?
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Biology, thoughts, emotions, social stuff, personality, learning, motivation. Wow.
It's a lot. And I guess the main takeaway, the real core message from all this, is that human behavior is never, ever about just one single thing. There's no magic bullet explanation.
Always a mix.
Always. It's this incredibly complex, constantly shifting dance between all those factors we talked about. Your biology, your thoughts, your feelings, the people around you, who you are as a person, what drives you.
All interacting all the time.
All interacting all the time. Every single decision, every action, big or small, is shaped by both your inner world and the outer world you live in.
Okay. So what does this all mean for you, listening right now? Where's the practical takeaway?
I think the really empowering part is this. Awareness changes things.
How so?
Once you start becoming aware of these influences, the biases, the emotional triggers, the social pressures, your own patterns, you gain the ability to actually start changing them.
It's not just interesting theory then.
Not at all. This awareness can genuinely help you. You can start rewiring habits that aren't working for you anymore. You can understand other people a bit better, maybe have more empathy when their actions seem totally baffling.
Because you can guess what might be driving them underneath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it helps you act with more clarity, more intention. You're less likely to feel just pulled along by these hidden forces you didn't even know were there.
Taking back the steering wheel, maybe?
That's a perfect way to put it.
So the final thought to leave people with?
I think it's this. Psychology, understanding behavior, it isn't just some academic exercise about figuring out other people.
No.
It's profoundly about understanding yourself. deeply. And when you start to really see how these intricate gears turn inside you, well, that's when you gain this incredible power.
Power over what?
Power to take back meaningful control. Control over how you live your life, how you connect with others, how you think, and ultimately, how you choose to grow and change. It starts with that awareness.